Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Is it nice to see a GM admit to his faults on top of all these great moves we've been doing the past couple seasons? We're going to get straight into this. It's going to be very, very interesting.
We better turn. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. So Howie Roseman admitting to his mistakes. When does that ever happen? Not on my watch. I've seen it. But since Jalen Reagor is off this team now Howie Roseman was on WIP and talked about the draft between Jalen Reagor and picking Justin Jefferson, all that crazy stuff that was going on. And obviously, as us Eagles fans, we know the mistakes that were made at that time. Now, he was on WIP and he said he wishes he had the moment back, quote unquote. He took Reagor over Justin Jefferson. Says one key lesson he learned was pick best player as opposed to picking a player for a role. Thank you very much. Thank you for this. That's what I wanted to hear. Yes, I felt like with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside being here, we were trying to replace Alshon Jeffrey. With Reagor being here, we just needed that speed guy because we didn't have a deep threat. And he was more of a role-type player. He was more of a roll-over best player available. And that's what Howie Roseman has been failing since the Super Bowl, really, because if you can't even hit on your first round picks, I don't know what to tell you. The Vikings front office, there is video out there of the Vikings front office laughing in our face. Literally, their front office during the draft was laughing in the war room at us for passing on Justin Jefferson. No joke, like we were the laughing stock, and we have been the laughing stock. The past 2 seasons, what a freaking turnaround by this GM, I gotta say. And I don't think it's all Howie Roseman. I still don't believe it. I feel like there has been pushback with a lot of these draft picks, not just from Howie just kind of trying to make his own decision. I don't think Howie has had the freedom to have his own decision in some ways. Okay, I'm not saying every pick is not Howie's fault. I'm saying for this Reagor pick in general, for a fact, even Doug Peterson last year when he was interviewed by John Clark when he wasn't even a coach yet, and John Clark asked Doug Peterson, oh, why'd you draft Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson? He's like, oh, you're looking at me, quote unquote. You know what I mean? So we didn't know whose fault it was. Okay, but I think there was pushback from Jeffrey Lurie by a mile. Okay, Jeffrey Lurie has been involved. There's no doubt about it. Okay, that's the man that didn't want Howie to draft from SEC schools, from big schools like USC. From obviously LSU, Georgia, big schools, Alabama. Like those are big schools that Howie, I don't think, was even allowed to draft players from those schools. Like no joke. Like I think Howie's been pulled back. There's no way a GM just starts making good decisions like this in a matter of 2 seasons. There's 2 off seasons. There's just no way that he just all of a sudden makes does a 180 and literally just, holy crap, you're like amazed by it. There's something else must have been going on. There must have been some pushback towards Howie Roseman and his decisions. And I think it's been tampered with, honestly. But since the Sirianni hire, I believe the rumors when Jeffrey Lurie kind of stepped back, and you saw even after the first night of the draft when Howie and Nick, the relationship they have, it seems like the vibe in the room is very comfortable. It's not professional and awkward. You know what I mean? It's you could tell when you watch these press conferences, they seem just very comfortable with each other. And I think it's because not only has Jeffrey Lurie been involved and Andy Weidel and whoever else is involved in push back on Howie Roseman, not letting him have the final say or having any type of say whatsoever. I'm not saying that Howie Roseman has no input on things because he is the GM, but overall, he might not have had final decision on a lot of these picks. I'm not saying every pick not Howie's fault, but there's just something going on. There has been I don't believe that Howie Roseman, there's just no way this GM turns this thing around. I understand the trades have always been good over the years, but these draft picks have been horrible. Okay, before this year, last year, horrible. And we've hit on a couple picks maybe here and there, but your first round, when is the last time we hit on a first round pick? I can't even remember that there's a first round pick in the building right now at least right now, that's been here for, 8, 9 or more years. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. Every guy that we draft. And look, if Reagor was the, which I look at the end of the day, like I thought Reagor I liked the pick, okay, at the time. And it's because I gave Reagor slack because he had over 6 different quarterbacks at TCU. And I figured, okay, he hasn't had like a consistent quarterback that he's played with, and I thought he'd be that Tavon Austin type, move all over the field and kind of just set yourself up and go get every catch you can get, and he could play every position. But far from that, he was not that player at all. And the Eagles finally make the trade. And look, I don't regret not getting Justin Jefferson. I'm not just saying that because we have A.J. Brown now, but part of it is, we have Devontae Smith. And I like this group a lot better than what we probably would have had. Even if we drafted Justin Jefferson, our coaching staff couldn't produce players. Even if we had DK Metcalf over J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, it wouldn't have mattered, guys. Like, we can go over this a million times, but I kind of want to get over this because it's done. It's over with. Like, times are changing in Philadelphia. New era, new, just everything is just new with this team now. We're going to have an overlook with our logo, the word art. I mean, everything is just changing. The Eagles are changing. We're getting out of the 90s look. We're getting into now a new realm of Philadelphia now. And I can't wait for this big change to happen. It's time to get with the new times. And Philadelphia now being talked about as one of the biggest teams. Teams being afraid of the Philadelphia Eagles of being that explosive. And I want teams to fear this team once again. And look at the weapons that we have. And obviously acquiring players that want to play here after we said the past, year and a half that nobody wants to play in Philadelphia because of Jalen Hurts. Nobody wants to play in Philadelphia because of certain things that are happening. And the way this defense played last year. And all this stuff that we've talked about has been a huge turnaround. The times are changing. The culture is changing, and that started with Nick Sirianni. Whether he's the coach the next 10 years or not, he's done a pretty good job on keeping this roster and these players together as one unit, which is a fantastic thing. But Howie Roseman definitely admitting to this is a big check mark in my book when it comes to just somebody that's just going to be real with the fans, that what the fans want to hear. And obviously, he's not going to come out on his own and say it. He's got to be asked the question whether he decides to answer it or not, which he definitely did on 94 WIP. But it's been a huge turnaround. So I have no problem in what's been going on. And obviously, the moves we made the past couple off seasons have been fantastic. We thought last year, we said if Landon Dickerson works out in that draft last year, it was an A- draft for me. This year, A+, in my opinion, just of what you did trade-wise. The whole offseason was an A+. There's no doubt about it. You built around Jalen Hurts. You made this defense night and day from what we had last year. The culture is better, and the linebacker group is night and day. It's absolutely amazing what Howie has done. And just the thing of it, we took Reagor over Justin Jefferson. We were laughed at on video. We were laughed at by the Vikings front office on video in their war room that we picked Reagor over Jefferson. Sorry. And it's kind of crazy. So I'm actually really happy that Howie said something and that he's admitting to it. And that's only because Reagor's not here. You're not going to say this while he's on the team. So like I said before, but we're going in the right direction, guys. We're going in the right direction, and things are looking upward for us for the future for many years to come. So very excited about it. Secondly, news, the special teams, punt return, kick return, what's going on? So there has been an updated depth chart on the Philadelphia Eagles, and it looks like Greg, sorry, I'm all over the place today, okay? Give me a break. Quez Watkins is on kick return and punt return. You have Quez Watkins, Kenneth Gainwell, and I think the next name after that it's cut off is Boston Scott. Okay, so I definitely knew Kenneth Gainwell was going to be on kick returns. I kind of knew that. It'll be Quez and Gainwell on kick returns. But punt return-wise, Quez is going to be the guy. It's going to be interesting because I don't like putting skill. I like taking a guy that doesn't play offense, defense, that doesn't get playing time to play special teams because God forbid somebody gets hurt on punt return, kick return. Quez Watkins takes a big hit, you never know what could happen. He could get hurt. Zach Pascal has to go in, so you never know what could happen here. But you don't want any of these special skill set positional guys that are starting for you to get hurt on special teams, because even if he calls a fair catch or whatnot on punt return and he still gets hit and he gets injured, things just happen. You don't know what could happen. You know what I mean? One step, it's all it takes. But it's nice to see that. Am I okay with it? I don't know. We don't really have anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I guess Quez is fine, but I just don't want him to get injured. Don't want him to get that, get hit on a really bad kick or something happens, and anything could happen when he's running around. That's just what it is. So I wish it kind of wasn't Quez, but we're running out of options here. There's no Greg Ward. Hightower's not even available right now. There's nobody left since Rager's gone. I mean, look, not like I wanted Rager to be in that spot anyway if he was still here. But we were running out of choices because we need to get a speedster. I'm surprised they didn't get somebody off waivers or somebody that was a good special teamer coming off waivers. Probably not. I mean, with the extra roster spots now, probably helped a lot of teams to make their decisions on the final 53 and who they're keeping on the practice squad. So we'll see. Maybe the Eagles will go around some practice squads in a few days and see what they could do at that, because I don't know if Quez is going to be the answer at punt return, kick return, but I mean, I'm sure as hell know that he's going to run real hard and do his thing. So other than that, that's pretty much it. That's the news for the day. Few more days. Eagles, Lions, first game of the year. But let me know what you guys think about Howie Roseman. Were you surprised Howie Roseman said this on radio in 94 WIP? Do you feel better about Howie Roseman now? And do you feel like taking best player available over role player was a huge thing? Because I thought that was the biggest thing that he said. Taking a best player available over a need is that's the right thing to do. That's why these past two drafts have been so well, and even the trades, and oh my God, it's been absolutely insane. You guys let me know in the comment section below. And if you think Quez Watkins should be the right guy at punt return and kick return, you guys let me know on that as well. I will see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.